Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Snapshot opinion breakdown video. So there have been 3 snapshots since the last video I made, and they've basically done a bunch of bug fixes and had 3 major additions. So the first of these 3 additions is the Dripstone, which I'm very, very excited about. A lot of people were really on the fence about this texture and didn't feel it was very Minecrafty, but I think the way they're implementing this is really, really cool. There's basically 2 things going on here. There's a dripstone block, which you can put however you like, and I think it's a neat looking texture. And then there's these pointed dripstone, and these you can kind of set on top and stack up, or if you have them on the ceiling, you can make them hang down. And one thing that's really neat is they're kind of like bamboo, where they appear randomly. And so sometimes you can fit between them, sometimes you can't. I think that's a neat little detail. Adds kind of an organic feel where things feel a lot more real and less on a grid. There, of course, is all kinds of potential about traps and farms and things like that. The thing I'm most excited about with this block is that it creates terrain that is dangerous. And right now, the Nether obviously has that feeling because there's so much lava around. But other than that, there's really not very much dangerous terrain. Occasionally you'll find some collapsing gravel or sand, but the addition of the powdered snow and the addition of the dripstone makes it so navigating certain areas of the world are going to be a little bit treacherous, and I think that is super cool. The following snapshot introduced the Skulk sensor, and I did a whole video about these guys because they are absolutely fascinating. The Skulk sensor picks up vibration, as you can see, and the Skulk sensor will put out a redstone signal in a couple of different ways. You can take a redstone signal directly out of the Skulk sensor, and that strength will be determined by your proximity to the block. You can also take a comparator output, and different events create different levels of redstone signal. And you can create a little circuit like this where you can actually make it look specifically for certain frequencies. So for example, over here, you can see when I'm walking, this doesn't really do much of anything. But if I place a block, the light comes on. If I break the block, the light won't come on. It's only when I place a block, because this circuit is looking for that specific frequency. They just added a new addition where if you waterlog this block, it won't make all the noise. And so the potential for traps and for, invisible and secret wireless redstone is really remarkable. Very, very excited about this block. This is ridiculous. The most recent addition to the game is the Axolotl, and this is a pretty cool little mob. It comes in a couple of different varieties. Right now, it doesn't spawn naturally. It can be picked up and placed with a bucket, and there's 5 varieties, one of which is a little bit rare. One thing that's really cool about these is you can breed them with tropical fish. Finally gives tropical fish a use, which is a pretty cool thing. They are amphibious, so if they end up out of water, they move really slow, but they won't die, which is a cool thing. Oops, of course I put down water here. They move really slowly. They sort of move in a really peculiar and glitchy way right now, which is weird. They'll live outside of water for about 5 minutes, and then they dry up and they die. Rain will keep them alive. You can just dump water on them and they'll stay alive. But yeah, they're pretty cool. For the most part, these guys don't care about mobs. If they see something, they'll ignore it. Unless I'm holding tropical fish. And then they will do my bidding and attack this guy, which is pretty cool. And slowly make their way back into the water. If one of these guys takes damage, they will do this thing where they fake that they're dead. Just like that. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, they just kind of lay on their side a little bit, and then these particles are regenerating them. So they just lay there and regenerate until they can get back in the battle. Again, if I grab a tropical fish, they will come after this guy. They've said this is going to be the last snapshot of the year. They're taking a holiday break, but of course there will be many, many more snapshots to come. They're moving at a pretty quick pace. The additions of these features has been really well done. And of course, like I've said before, the terrain and world generation is where things will really get kind of bonkers, and they'll have a lot of bug fixing to do there. But so far, I'm really, really impressed with these additions. I think they're really thoughtful. I think the things that they add to the game, like I was saying, dangerous terrain, adding uses for things like tropical fish or wool for, occlusion on the Skulk sensors, adding, leather as a snowshoe sort of situation. I think that's incredible. I think that just adds so much depth to the game. It makes these things that were not very useful, to be completely honest, much, much more useful now. So awesome, awesome stuff. Really happy with what Mojang is doing. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about in this update, because I'm really, really curious. There's so much good stuff. It's going to be really, really great. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.